So after we did it, then we sat down and I gave them the prompt. How can you use this in your own classroom? What is the vocabulary that you're working with? And each one of them immediately made connections, and then they shared them with each other. So for me, that reflection helps them to integrate their learning with how they can actually practically use it for what they have to do. All right, this is what I was hoping that this might engender, is some ideas. For example, you have a plan of something where that fits in.
Yes.
What are some other topics in what your upcoming, and let me just ask, would you like to have a little notepad or something to write? You can.
If you don't mind, I take notes on my phone. So
Whatever you love, whatever is good for you. So you all, like when I look around this classroom, I can see shriek, yell, scream, screech, which I would like to do that in terms of movement, that it would be silent. You know, I could do plenty of that. There's something right from this class. Courage, you know, cold. So what are the things you're working on in your classrooms that you might be able to use this for? Emotions is one. Could you tell us what is the topic of yours?
I like to teach poetry, and I haven't done that yet this year. And I got a lesson from a friend of mine many years ago in which you use a story, I think it's a Frog and Toad story called Tear, Water, Tea, and you read it to the class, and it's all about, oh no, it's Owl. It's Arnold Lobel is the author. Anyway, you read that story, and it's all about things that make him sad, right? And so you read that story and then brainstorm things that make people sad, and they end up writing a poem using an emotion. It could be sad, it could be happy, joy, whatever, and just saying sad is on each line, and it's examples of
Oh,
what
yes.
sad is, or what happiness is, by using this book as an example. It's nice.
Great, great. And what about you? Do you have anything coming up in your classroom that fourth grade?
Right now we're into like our writing and reading is about like politics. So why do people run for political office? So it's kind of government kind of stuff. So I'm thinking leadership, like making a difference kind of stuff.
Contributing,
Yeah.
giving,
there's a lot of
leading.
vocabulary in there now.
Yeah, actually, if you don't mind, could we collectively brainstorm about vocabulary for your topic? Because that is going to really tie into what we do with our I'm going to do a demonstration lesson today for you, like a 45-minute lesson that will have a lot of shape in it. And the content of it is one of our great leaders, Kuhio, who we're going to be celebrating soon with a holiday, a day off from school. So let's think about leadership, okay? What is some vocabulary that we could brainstorm about leadership? Leaders.
Probably responsibility.
Election.
Power, change, and
Working together.
yeah.
Like constituents, or your, I guess democracy would also be
Yeah,
a word.
exactly. Democracy, different. Power,
What was the last one after that?
Campaign.
Campaign.
integrity. And for the whole. Yeah.
What was the other one?
For the whole, working for the.
Okay, that gives me what I have been thinking about when I think about the politics is service.
Yeah.
That oftentimes, in the example of these Hawaiian ali'i, what you see a lot of times is service and love of their people and their desire to help their people.
Maybe progress. Like reaching for more.
Yes, to make progress, to go forward, to improve things.
That works.
Yeah, and if it's all right, I'd like to also, you notice up there, Auntie Shelby uses a few Hawaiian words. And I always think that if there is an opportunity to introduce a little bit of vocabulary from this place, it's a good thing, and it actually does match with a lot of our newer requirements, or like our ha instead of glow. It uses a lot of Hawaiian vocabulary. So leaders, you see how she has up there? Alaka'i. The alaka'i are the ones who lead. Now, responsibility, she has it up there too. Kuleana. Power, in a sense, is related to strength. Because if you have power, you're usually a strong person, whether you're strong physically, mentally, or spiritually. So for me, there's two good words. One is mana. And in Hawaii, most of the leaders are imbued with mana. They have a spiritual power that just distinguishes them and helps to guide them. But there's also the more mundane sense of power in ikaika, which many of your students probably have this name, but it means to be strong. So mana and ikaika, and I'm just going to define them a little bit just for our own. Spiritual power is how often people define mana, and ikaika is strength. And all this vocabulary really relates to the main lesson that I want to teach you. And as I say, I like to use as much as we can of our language to create that place-based feeling in our work. Now, working together, there's a beautiful song that you might hear at a lot of Maydays. E alulike maikako. Alulike, it's also a major organization that does a lot of things throughout Hawaii in all our communities. It's called Alulike, and it's an organization that helps and does things. So Alulike means to work together. And it's commonly used here in the islands. Integrity, to me, is pono. To be righteous, to be true. Children need to have that idea. It's not about you get a reward or a prize because you did this good or that you helped someone, but it's the right thing to do. And to be pono, to be a pono person, you act like that. So pono, I know at the little school where Brenda works and where I've often worked, they'll have pono points. You know, you do so much, okay, the whole class gets to go and enjoy something because everybody understood what it was to be pono. And service, to me, comes down to desire to help. And that is kokua, to be able to help one another. Love of their people and love of the land, often we refer to it as aloha aina. Whether it means you pick up trash from the beach, or whether it means you walk in a march to tell that you believe in something, or you go out to vote, or whatever it is you're doing is aloha aina. Anything you're doing to help your country, your people, your place, aloha aina. So these, pono, goes to service, and also to helping. And love of your people, I'll put it down here, is aloha aina. Now to me, these all will go back, if you look at the ha, which we used to refer to as our GLO, General Learner Outcomes. And those are, I'm just gonna do a little aside, maybe for Janet's benefit, she may know this already, but GLOs, General Learner Outcomes, means what we want everybody to get, right? And nowadays, and there they are, up there at the top. And those, now you see how they put the Hawaiian words to them? So we're really going in that direction. So these are common Hawaiian words that we use frequently, and they're used in different ways to name organizations, to name things that we do, and they do tie into our lesson too.